Over 500 years ago, a man named Niccolò Machiavelli wrote a book called The Prince. It was, and still is, one of the most ruthless guides to gaining and holding on to power ever written. So let's open it up and dive into his masterclass on how to win respect.
Machiavelli kicks things off with maybe the most famous question in all of political science. Now, for a leader, this isn't just some philosophical debate. It's a very real question of survival. And the answer really sets the stage for a brutal, super pragmatic look at what power is all about.
You see, for Machiavelli, respect isn't something you're just given. Oh no. It's an image you build, meticulously, through every single thing you do in public. It's basically a performance, and the entire state is your stage.
All right, so let's get into his first principle for winning respect. To be respected, a ruler absolutely has to project an aura of power. And we're not talking about small gestures here. This is about big, grand, decisive actions that totally capture the public's imagination and leave no doubt about who's in charge.
And where's the best place to do that? For Machiavelli, the ultimate test is conflict. A ruler's reputation is literally forged in the fires of war. See, big victories don't just get you more land. They build a legend around you, a story of strength and incredible talent. And that right there, that's the bedrock of respect.
Now, Machiavelli wasn't just spinning theories. He gives us a perfect, real-world example. Ferdinand of Aragon, the King of Spain. He saw Ferdinand as a true master of public perception, someone who started out kind of weak, but became this widely revered ruler, all because he knew exactly how to build his reputation.
So let's break down Ferdinand's playbook. The guy was always on the move. But why? Well, every single action had a hidden purpose. That invasion of Granada? Yeah, it was a military victory, but its real purpose was to keep his own powerful nobles so busy that they didn't have time to plot against him. He used religion to justify his campaigns, and, this is crucial, he never gave his rivals a moment to catch their breath. This wasn't just war, it was a brilliant strategy of nonstop political pressure.
And here it is, the real endgame. All these huge projects, they weren't just for conquest. They were designed to keep everybody totally fixated on his next move, constantly wowed by his string of successes. He didn't just dominate the battlefield, he dominated the entire conversation.
Now, that idea of always being on the move flows right into Machiavelli's second principle, which is just as cut and dried. You never, ever stay on the sidelines. In a world of constant conflict, being neutral isn't seen as wise, it's seen as weak.
He argues that you gain respect by making it crystal clear where you stand. Are you an ally or are you an enemy? There is no in-between. Picking a side shows courage and commitment, and those are qualities that even your enemies can respect. Indecision, though, that just earns you contempt from everyone.
And this slide just lays out the brutal logic of it all. Think about it. If you stay neutral when your neighbors are at war, the winner's going to look at you as a useless friend and probably come for you next. And the loser? They're going to hate you for not helping. But if you take a side, you at least have a shot at controlling your own destiny. You either win and gain a powerful ally, or you go down fighting. Either way, your fate is in your own hands.
And that's really the bottom line, isn't it? In the high-stakes game of power, you get no points for sitting on the fence. Commitment is what gets rewarded. Indecision is seen as a fatal flaw. A powerful ally wants to know who they can count on when things get tough.
Okay, so you've got grand victories, you've got clear alliances, but all that means nothing if you can't manage your own people back home. And that brings us to the third and maybe the most important principle. Here, a ruler faces two mortal dangers, being despised and being dismissed.
Now, this is such a key distinction. Everybody knows Machiavelli said it's better to be feared than loved, but he is crystal clear that you must never be hated. Fear is a tool you can use for control. Hatred, on the other hand, is a poison that only leads to rebellion. And contempt is just as dangerous, because that means people think you're a joke. So, what makes a ruler contemptible? Well, it all comes down to being seen as weak. If a leader seems wishy-washy, shallow, cowardly, or can't make a decision, their authority just evaporates. People will not follow a leader they don't respect, and these qualities right here, they kill respect on the spot.
And what about pure hatred? For Machiavelli, the cause is surprisingly simple. A ruler sparks that revolutionary kind of hatred when he messes with two things his subjects care about most: their property and their families. He famously wrote that a man will forget the death of his father sooner than the loss of his inheritance.
So, as a ruler, you have to do this really delicate balancing act. You've got to manage the ambitious nobles, sure, but your real power base is the people. And here's where we see the Machiavellian genius in full swing.
Delegate the unpopular jobs. Let your ministers be the ones who raise taxes and do the dirty work. You, the ruler, should be the one handing out favors and looking generous, so you get all the credit. It's brilliant.
At the end of the day, this is the foundation of everything. Fortresses can fall, armies can be beaten, but a ruler who has the people on their side has the ultimate security blanket. When a real crisis hits, the people are your last and your best line of defense.
So, after all these strategies, projecting power, choosing sides, managing the people, what's the final big takeaway from Machiavelli's guide? Well, it's a pretty tough pill to swallow, and it's all about the clash between morality and survival.
This right here is the core idea that has made Machiavelli so infamous for 5 centuries. He basically argues that in a world where most people are not good, a leader who always tries to be good is just going to get destroyed. So the key isn't actually being virtuous. It's the appearance of virtue that counts.
And in his own words, a ruler needs what you might call moral flexibility. Be good, be humane, be loyal whenever you can. But you also have to know how to be cruel, deceptive, and ruthless when the survival of your state is on the line.
So let's just put it plainly. Machiavellian respect isn't earned by being a good person. It's earned by being an effective leader, someone who can keep the state secure by any means necessary. It's a cold, hard currency of power and survival.
And all of this leaves us with one big hanging question. It's been 500 years. When you look at our own leaders, at politics on the world stage today, how much has really changed? Are these ruthless principles still the secret playbook for power? I'll let you think about that one.
If you enjoyed this summary and want to explore the complete book, you'll find the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and happy reading.